So just then, we got breaking news. It looks like sneaker prices, unfortunately, will be going up all across the board. Well, at least for Nike anyways. But as you can imagine, I'm guessing all major brands will be following suit as well. Now, this is actually only going to be affecting people here in the US. So for everybody outside of the States, you could take a deep breath. Recently, new government issued tariffs have went into an effect. And as analysts predicted, rather than these big companies eating up the lost profit margins, they were going to put those losses onto customers as well as retailers. Now, a couple of weeks back, Adidas CEO did let us know that he predicted prices would increase, but it looks like Nike has officially let retailers know this week that prices increases will be going into effect here coming up in June. So we're now about a couple of weeks away from the big bombshell. Let me know down below, guys, will this affect your purchasing decisions when it comes to sneakers and footwear? There are some exceptions to everything, so we're going to get into all the details here shortly. Salute to everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys smash the like button. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Let's jump right into it. Now, this report comes to us from the good old folks over at Complex. It reads, Nike is raising its prices in the US. The price increases will range from $2 to $10 and go into effect starting in June. So $2 to $10, I mean, that don't sound too bad. If you guys recall weeks ago when analysts were first, giving their predictions of these price increases due to the government issued tariffs, they were saying pretty crazy numbers. Like I think the lowest number people were saying where we probably see like a $20 price increase. I even remember some people saying like maybe like $50 to $100, but those were probably more so like clickbait titles just to really get the people stirring and talking and everything like that. But as far as the actual numbers, the real price increases that we can actually see effect going into as early as next month, $2 to $10, I would say that's not really too bad. Like let's just say, for example, if let's say a big release like the Jordan 4 white cements, which are going to be coming out this weekend, which normally retail at $225. You do have to factor in taxes, and some people will be paying shipping and everything. But as far as the retail prices, which we're talking, which we can expect to see increases on, $225. Let's say you factor in an additional $10, bringing it to $235 for the white cement 4s. I would see nobody really batting an eye at that. I think everybody would easily dish out $235 for a sneaker like that. But then again, that's a shoe which is regarded as a classic. People go crazy as far as these Jordan retro releases. And that's a shoe which also has a little bit of resale value, or at least it like hold its value on the secondary market. But let's just say you take into effect the bestseller or like an everyday sneaker, which Nike would have available to purchase. Like, let's just say something, if you were to jump on their website and buy, or like walk into a local Foot Locker or something like that. Let's just say a model like the Air Max Plus, which retails for $180. If Nike was to increase that retail price up with a $10 increase, say bringing those to $190, I think for a sneaker like that, remember this is just an everyday plain shoe which doesn't have any resale value or anything like that. I think that could, be a tough sell for customers. $190, that could actually affect people's purchasing decisions. So I think when it comes to hype sneakers, price increases really wouldn't matter that much. We're just talking $10, $2 to $10. But for like just your everyday Nike shoe, I could see it possibly affecting the bottom line. I think that could maybe affect people's purchasing decisions. But let's just hope that as far as these price increases, it's more on like the $2 end than the $10 end. But of course, we'll have to wait and see when all of these price increases go into effect coming up here in June. Now it says Nike notified retail partners of the price hikes this week. Customers will see the price increases next month, and Nike's retail partners will see their wholesale prices increase come July when Nike's fall 2025 season begins. So that's interesting. Not only will customers be having to make up for the lost dividends that Nike will be facing with the new government issued tariffs, but it also looks like the wholesale partners, which would include retailers, will be actually seeing price increases as well. So that's something I actually didn't think about. Like, just think about it. Sneaker retailers all across the board are already doing bad. Like pretty much think about Foot Locker. They just got bought out by DSG. And if a big company such as Foot Locker is doing bad, you can imagine that lower level retailers, a lot of these boutique shops are doing bad as well. And you could just imagine for like more independent stores, mom and pop joints, they got to be doing bad as well. So with Nike increasing prices for customers, as well as retailers, wholesale partners having to face these price increases, I'm predicting that like things could get even worse. Like we could maybe even see more places shut down. So I think this is going to actually be a lot worse than a lot of people think. Like the $2 to $10 doesn't sound too bad, but just when you think about it affecting retail partners, wholesalers as well, things could get real sticky. But we'll have to wait and see how everything goes into effect. For customers, it's going to be taking place next month, and then retailers, their price increases will be taking effect coming up in July. Maybe we'll see a lot less products go on sale. Who really knows? But it says, we regularly evaluate our business and make pricing adjustments as part of our seasonal planning, Nike said in a statement to Complex. That's cap right there. We know this ain't just normal, regular inflation or price increases. We all know this is due to the government issued tariffs. And if that wasn't the case, why are these price increases only happening here in the US? You see, Nike, they don't like to get involved in politics. They know it's bad for business. They always want to just keep things like real neutral and everything like that. Plus, you already know if you go against like Trump, he's going to blast you in the media and everything like that. We've seen him do it to other companies. So rather than Nike risking something like that happening, you know, they're just going to keep things silent, keep it neutral, and say that it's just normal pricing adjustments and evaluations and everything like that. Yeah, it sounds good and everything like that. So it says there are exclusions to the planned price increases. Sources said Jordan apparel and accessories, all kids footwear and apparel, and all footwear under $100 will not be affected. All right, so that's good. So let's go ahead and read that very slowly. It says Jordan apparel and accessories, right? So Jordans will be affected by the price increases, but Jordan apparel and accessories will not, which I could really care less. I'm not out here buying no Jordan apparel or anything like that. But let's see, it says kids footwear and apparel and all footwear under $100 will not be affected. So for Nike, I'll clap that one up for them. Like, good thing they're not messing with the kids' prices, because kids' sneakers are already crazy. I don't know if any of y'all watching got kids or anything like that, but I'd be actually shocked to see the prices, you know, for a lot of these kids' shoes. But hey, I guess it is what it is, right? Now it says the Nike Air Force One, a best-selling retro sneaker that currently retails for $115 in its most basic form, will not be affected. Thank God. Thank God, the Air Force One. I'm just playing, man. It's kind of crazy though. Like, why would Nike, out of all of their shoes, you know, choose for the Air Force One to not see a price increase? I ain't gonna lie, like, when it comes to Air Force Ones, like when we're talking about just the most simple form, when you're talking just a pair of all white Air Force Ones or even an all pair of black Air Force Ones, like, I think even with the price increase, people still would eat those up. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like the Air Force Ones are so popular that I could just see they're such a staple that I feel like people would even pay like $150. People that got it would probably pay like $200 a pop for a pair of Air Force Ones. It's just that by them increasing the price so abruptly, you know, it would stir up a little bit of controversy. But I ain't gonna lie, like Air Force Ones are just such a part of the culture. Like, I don't see nobody stopping rocking a pair of just all white Air Force Ones no time soon. And even if Nike was to increase the price, I don't think it would stop nobody. But it's just kind of interesting to see that they chose, out of everything that they got, this would be the sneaker that they're not going to increase the prices for. Like, what is Nike trying to say? Like, are they trying to say we're too broke out here to be able to afford a $125 pair of Air Force Ones? But then again, I ain't complaining. And for Nike to basically not touch one of their classics, I mean, the best one got to be the Air Force One. Like, that's a classic. Ain't nobody complaining about that right there. But it's just kind of interesting, like, why out of everything did Nike specifically choose that one sneaker? I don't really know. So it says, per one source, Nike exclusions were designed to keep its products affordable for everyday consumers. So I guess Nike labels everyday consumers as like the broke people that can't afford the price increases. Y'all know this is wild. So it says the price increases will coincide with the start of Nike's next fiscal year. Nike closes out its current fiscal year on May 31st. So yeah, coming up in June, you guys can expect to see these price increases. Nike's decision to raise prices in the U.S. comes in the wake of President Trump's new tariffs, blah, 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 blah. Complex sources said that Nike has explicitly mentioned Trump nor his policies in rolling out the price increases, instead citing expected inflation and economic conditions. Yeah, so we already know what's going on with Nike. So $2 to $10 price increases, I would say nothing too crazy to get worked up about. But as far as just for like an everyday type of shoe, which like already probably comes in at a overpriced markup price, I think it could possibly affect Nike's bottom line. As y'all know, headlines, you know, have been saying that Nike stock has been falling. So I wonder if come next year, once we check out all the numbers and analytics and everything, I wonder if this will have a major effect on Nike's bottom line overall. And most importantly for you guys as customers, how do you guys feel about it? Earlier in the video, I asked you guys to drop your feedback. Now that we got all the facts, $2 to $10, do you feel like this is something major? Is this gonna affect your buying power? For me, you know, I've already slowed down as far as like purchasing sneakers like that and everything like that. But you guys know how it is. I've been in the game for a long time, so that's just me. Would love to know how you guys feel about this whole thing. Sneaker price increases coming soon for Nike, actually starting as early as just a couple of weeks from now. And as you can imagine, the rest of the industry will be probably following suit as well. Drop your feedback down below. I'll catch you guys next time. JA, I'm out. Love.